It happened, guys. Yves Guillemot was tired of the bullying. He was tired of people making fun of them for having no idea what they're doing. So he went to Variety and did an interview, an exclusive interview. And there's a lot of interesting little tidbits in here. The CEO of Ubisoft explains the 3-year plan to revamp the game publisher through new creative house strategy, more than 200 million in cost reductions. In large part, it's mainly just him going through his talking points. This is not like hard-hitting journalism or anything. It's just not what not the point of it. But they do ask some questions. So like, how does the completion of the Tencent partnership impact Ubisoft's long-term growth strategy, particularly in Asian markets? Tencent brings unparalleled knowledge of Chinese ecosystem. Their expertise will help us position our brands in a way that truly resonates with local players while also acting as a powerful distribution partner. We see significant potential for franchises such as Rainbow Six to scale in China to levels comparable to or even exceeding other major markets in both player base and revenue, which I agree should happen if they know what they're doing. With Vantage Studios now established, will there be announcements on the next Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six Siege, and Far Cry games soon? Do you see the pipeline for development on those franchises speeding up under this new model? Oh, good question. We have a solid pipeline underway across Vantage Studios. Under the Assassin's Creed brand, several titles are in development, spanning both single player and multiplayer, with the ambition to further grow a community that exceeds 30 million players last year. On Far Cry, anticipation is high, and we currently have 2 very promising projects in development. Rainbow Six is coming back strongly, recently passing 2.5 million players daily, and will continue to grow. The 6th Invitational in Paris drew impressive viewership. We also have outlined our ambitions for a year 11 roadmap for Rainbow Six Mobile. More broadly, with Vantage Studios established, we have early evidence that our new operating model better empowers our teams to fully focus on their franchises, which over time will translate into a greater predictability in our pipeline and stronger engagement for our players, which is true. Like, that's the idea, is that it's going to be less, and there should be less variety in terms of quality. That's also one of the thoughts and ideas and hopes that they have. But what are a couple of like the big things that have started to go a little bit more viral from these statements? Well, Zephyrus did a really good job clipping these over on Twitter. Some specific quotations, okay, that are in here. When asked about Prince of Persia, said, "It remains a beloved and active brand and continues to play an important role in our creative house portfolio and long-term strategy." Basically says nothing. I think it's on ice until further notice. I doubt we see it anytime soon. Several major projects are moving full steam ahead. While we're not ready to share exact release dates, we're thrilled that Netflix has greenlit a live-action Assassin's Creed series and has already begun announcing cast members. That is happening. We'll see if that ends up being good, being Netflix. I'm not so sure, but we'll see. Production has been completed on the live-action feature film set in the Watch Dogs universe with new Regency, and FX has officially placed a series order for a Far Cry live-action show. Okay. Over the next 5 years, our ambition is to grow our existing franchises in ways that delight players. Our open-world adventure franchises like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Ghost Recon, The Division, and many others have incredible potential, and we want to reach new players, offer fresh experiences, and keep our communities engaged over time. The goal is to create new worlds where players want to come back, explore more, and enjoy new ways to play, which is a lot of words to say basically nothing. But one of the other interesting little tidbits that came out of this, JoeRaptor dug this up. Or rather, it initially came from Insider Gaming, but JoeRaptor clipped it, which is how I saw it. But what is this? Well, so they confirmed that 2 new Far Cry games are in development. Multiple Assassin's Creed titles are in development. What are these specifically? Well, the 2 new Far Cry games are codenamed Blackbird and Maverick, with Blackbird being the next mainline Far Cry game, and Maverick a kind of extraction shooter. We say a kind here because Maverick has been rescoped and iterated multiple times during development, with the last major change coming late last year. Blackbird has also had problems of its own and has seen the game internally delayed multiple times, with the latest delay coming earlier this year as part of Ubisoft's announced restructuring. In the interview, Yves also confirms that multiple Assassin's Creed projects and games are in development with both single and multiplayer experiences. 3 games are understood to be fully locked in, quote unquote, according to Insider Gaming sources, with Invictus, a multiplayer title, and Obsidian, the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, scheduled to release later this year. The 3rd game, codenamed Neo, publicly known as Hexe, is now scheduled to release in 2027. As part of Ubisoft's recent restructuring, 2 Assassin's Creed games were internally canceled. This one's going to blow you away. One being the already released mobile game Assassin's Creed Rebellion, and the second game called Assassin's Creed Singularity. again, whatever you think, pillows on your hands, friends. The face palming is about to commence. To their credit, they canceled what I'm about to describe, but this was in development for years. Assassin's Creed Singularity was in development for a couple of years, said sources, and was intended to be a virtual trading card game with Web3 and blockchain integration. The game was scheduled to release on both PC and mobile platforms. They literally, for years, were working on an NFT Assassin's Creed card game. Like Hearthstone, but with NFTs. For years. Even what's crazy, like if they said that they worked on that for a week, I'd be like, okay, you worked on that for a week in 2020 or 2021, whenever NFTs were hot for 3 days, and then you decided to shut it down. Okay, I could explain that. But they say for a couple of years. That's what's described here, a couple of years. Even if you say it was greenlit during the boom of NFTs in 2021, by 2023, 2 years later, a couple of years later, NFTs were definitely not cool anymore. Okay? Like, this was in the works way after it would have ever been considered possibly successful. Like, that's crazy. That's insane. Live service games don't seem so bad anymore in comparison. I mean, kind of. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. To their credit, they canceled it. I think they could see the writing on the wall. What do you mean my Abstergo coin is now worth less than toilet paper? Exactly. Absolutely crazy. And this was the thing I quote tweeted, like Joel Raptor tweeted out the snippet and was like, wow, they really dodged a bullet on that one. And I kind of crashed out when I saw it. And to be clear, they already did do another NFT thing. I shared this, which some people don't remember, but this was, they called them souls, like digital souls is what they described these things as. And they were little like 3D printed statuettes that would also have engraved in them an ID that was tied to an NFT identifier that was registered on the blockchain. So it was like a collectible that's also an NFT. They did release these, but what I've never understood, like there were multiple companies that did these things. What I never understood about these is that they're physical collectibles that are also NFTs. And like the NFT thing is supposed to make it truly unique. I'm like, bitch, what is this? Like you literally are printing on it just like any other collectible, one of 500. Like, do you really think somebody's going to get their own multi-million-dollar 3D printing thing to build something like this and then to duplicate? Like what? And that we won't be able to tell which one's legitimate and which one's not? Like, why do I need an NFT for that? How does that make any sense? Caleb, thank you for the 10. I just won the lottery. I'm looking for a way to throw away my money. You know of any Assassin's Creed garbage games? Well, you just missed it. Oh man, they should have greenlit it. Shucks. No mention of AC Jade. No, so that's the thing is AC Jade is being made by Tencent. It's being made by a different company. And so it's not being made by Ubisoft. So they don't discuss that on their calls because it's not theirs. They licensed their IP for it, but they're not making it. So they don't have to talk about it. So it could mean it's coming out next week or that it's been canceled, but they just aren't saying. You know, but the other key takeaway from this is that you know the timeline descriptions. So as you can see here, Invictus, a multiplayer title, and Obsidian, the Black Flag remake, are scheduled to release this year. The third game, codenamed Neo, publicly known as Hexe, is now scheduled to release in 2027, meaning we should get Invictus, the multiplayer game, and the Black Flag remake this year. Hexe is now next year. It got pushed out. It was supposed to be this fall and now it's pushed out. Maybe they go to a spring window, but my understanding is it's supposed to be kind of spoopy. And so if it's kind of spoopy, I don't know why they would release it in the spring. I would wait until fall, but that also is easier said than done because they should also have Far Cry ready by that time. So is Far Cry the spring game and Hexe is the fall game, or is Hexe the spring game and Far Cry is the fall game? I don't know. But they have options. With this, I'm so thoroughly intrigued to find out more about Invictus. I just don't know. I do think there's a world in which an Assassin's Creed multiplayer game can do well because they do have a large casual audience. I just don't know. I don't know if it will do that. Like, I don't know if this is that world. You know, like I just don't know. And I specifically don't know if the Ubisoft of 2026 is capable of doing it. Like, there were Assassin's Creed multiplayer modes that were fun. AC Unity black box missions and stuff were fun in co-op. Some of the other multiplayer modes they had were fun. I don't know how they build it out into a dedicated multiplayer game, but we'll see. It also depends also if they're going to do like a premium price thing. Are they going to charge $70 for it? Like, that changes the equation. Or is it free to play? I don't know.
He took my thing.